Hi Jonathan and Richard. So this is just going to be a quick help video to get you started with Shopify. I'm going to cover three main things today, which is products, how to upload and manage them, the categories of the products, and also the menu and how to use that. You might need to watch this video a couple of times, but I'll cover as much as I can in this one. And obviously, if you need more support and help going forwards, I'll do other videos and we can cover other things as well. And for now, I just want to get you started. So first of all, if you head over to Shopify and log in, click on your store down here, and that will basically then load up the shop that I've built so far. You'll see this menu from here. The main thing we're looking at the moment, we're going to go through products. So if you click on products, you'll see these are all the products that I've already set up for you. And basically they're all active, and I've set the stock levels on each one to just 1 for now, and I will cover how to change that in a minute for you. So first of all, let's look at how we would start uploading a new product. So I've got a dummy sort of product ready to go, and I'll just show you the process of how that works. Again, you may need to watch this a couple of times, but hopefully this will make sense to you. One thing I will say about products is make sure you label them with proper keywords. So for example, rather than calling this product Omega Lattice top, which wouldn't really be very relevant to Google, we put in the product name, but then we add the word fence panel, because that's much more useful for Google to have that word fence panel in there. And the actual product name itself is obviously another keywords that are useful, but always describe what the product is at the end of the name. So whatever the product happens to be, and then what it is as a product, a fence panel at the end of it. That has a good impact for Google. So just bear that in mind whenever you give a product a name. So just to go through things, if you add a product, and we're just going to do a dummy one. So going back to that, if this was, we'll call this one dummy product, but then we've got to give it a name of something relevant. So it's going to be a fence panel. So that's a good keyword, obviously, for Google. And then obviously whatever the product name is, that's obviously useful. People are Googling that as well. So you would write in a paragraph of what this is. I would repeat the product name again, because again, what you're doing by that is you're giving Google a title with keywords and also a description with the same keywords. You could then put in here the size, if there was a size. You could then put information such as price per panel, so people are aware of it. You can add anything else in there that you think is relevant, such as color. And if you go through all the other products, you'll see how I've done them and how I've formatted them and the information that I've put in them. Basically, you want to make it very clear to people what they're buying, so there can be no dispute. If they purchase something and it arrives, they can say, I wasn't expecting that size or that color or that it was a price per panel. Basically, this description is important to let people know exactly what it is that they're purchasing, just for any future reference, because obviously when they buy it, you get a receipt with that information on it. They also get a receipt with that information on it, so there can be no doubt what they have purchased. And then you would add the media to it. So here we've got, on my desktop, I've got a file which is just called test image. So we're just going to use that. So if we go on the desktop and we'll find that test image. There it is. So hit upload on that. That will then bring it across into the media. You'll see a little thumbnail once it's uploaded. So that's the image that we're using for this dummy product. And then we come across down here to collections. So collections, think of them as a category. So which category are you going to put this product into? And when you click that, these are the ones I've set up at the moment, and I will go through how to set up more in a minute. But obviously this is a fence panel, so you would add that into fence panels. And that's basically, you can then see there we're putting this into the collection of fence panels. The price, again, we've made it clear to somebody here that it's per panel. Let's just estimate this one as, I don't know, £50. And obviously at the moment, everything is set to charge VAT on top. You can go through each product if you prefer and just take that out so that the price is just £50. I've left it that it's £50 and we're adding tax on top. But that's obviously up to you. You don't have to fill this in, but if you want to know what you actually paid for that product, you can start inputting that information. I wouldn't really bother too much about that, but that option is there if you want it. It's a good idea to give everything a unique code as a reference. So some of your products have got that already preset. So I've added those, and if they haven't, I've left it blank. But again, you can go into any product and you can change the unique code of reference for each one if you wish. The quantity for everything, I've set the quantity as 1. And again, you can go through and adjust that, but I've just put everything as 1 for now. If you wanted to do a shipping based on the weight, then you can actually put the weight in kilograms or whatever it is, and then you can set up a shipping rule that will work out the postage costs. We haven't really talked about that too much, so for now I've just left that basically as empty. And then obviously we can then talk about when you're ready to go live, making sure the shipping is correctly done. But for now, this is just to get you uploading products. This I wouldn't worry about too much, but if this was available in different colors, you could click this and then go through setting a version that's brown, a version that's black, a version that's whatever other colors available. We'll go through that if it's something you want to do. Basically, you can only really have a drop down such as one option. If the price is different and there's different sizes, you wouldn't really want to use that facility. You would set up a product for each version and variation, and you'll see I've done that from some other ones. And again, I will cover that. But basically, this is just getting you in, getting a title, getting a description, uploading an image, putting it in a category, setting a price, and setting the stock level, and then we would save. So that's how you basically set up a product. And then basically once you've done that, you go back to your products list, and you'll see the dummy product is there. At the moment it's in draft mode, which means it's not live on the store. To put it live on the store, you just put a tick in the box there. Where it says more actions, you put set as active and set as active. And then after a little while, that will then show as active. Then when you look at your store, that dummy fence product would then be added to the list of products available. So again, you may need to watch that back, but it is quite a straightforward process. You can see there's lots of done set up. So again, if you wanted to go into one I've already done, you could just click one, and you can see how it's set up. So again, we've got that keyword with the keyword again repeated. We have the height, we have the fact that it's price per panel, we have a photo, it's in the fence panels collection, there's a price, we're adding tax on top. So this one had a unique code which I've input. And again, if you wanted to change the stock levels, you can obviously add more stock, keep putting the number up, and it would make more available. And yeah, so that's basically how products work. So pretty straightforward. Any questions on that, just let me know. The next thing we want to really look at then is collections. So at the moment I've set up fence panels, sheeting materials, and various other ones as a collection for you. So these are basically categories of products. So if you had a new category of product, you would basically create a collection. You would call it whatever it was. So we'll just call this one test collection. Again, you need to make sure they've got proper keywords because that's what Google's going to find. So if this was a particular product, again, we would repeat whatever that collection was. So if it's fence panels, we'd also have fence panels in there. And that's 2 lots of keywords for that particular collection. You'd set it to manual. This is basically showing you what the search engine would see. So if it was fence panels and fence panels, we'd obviously have those keywords in there. You can actually, in the description, you could actually put the business name as well. So you could have Arc Timber Test Collection, and then obviously again you've got the business name and then the product. So that can help with Google as well if you want your business name to be quite dominant in your search engine as well. You would then basically save, and then that's then created another collection. So I'm not going to save that one. We'll just leave that. But as you build more collections and you add more products, you just keep creating a collection for each type of product. And again, hopefully that makes sense. You might need to watch this again a couple of times, but hopefully that's just trying to basically show you how to add sub-menus of collections so that each type of product is in its correct collection. And then going back to the online store, you have the navigation, which is your menu, and this is the main menu down here. So you can see you have the home, the about, the catalogue of all the products, the contact, the FAQs, the garden products, the building materials, the timber and sheeting, insulation products. That's what we've got in the menu at the moment. Some of these, for example, the timber and sheeting, have got the drop-down menus below, which takes you to cladding or to sheeting materials. So I won't mess with this menu too much, but if you're going to add another button, you would add a menu button. We'll call this one test button. It would ask you where that's going to link to. So if it's a main menu item and it has a drop down, you would basically put in a hash and then you would add. So that is then just a test button. We would then add another sub menu. We'll just call this test sub menu. This one would link to a collection. So if we wanted a drop down of the test button in the menu and we wanted that to link to fence panels, you would do that, you'd hit add, and then basically drag that to a sub menu. So that if they hovered over this, for example, if that was fence panels, this was a particular style of fence panels, that's basically how to create a main menu button with a sub menu button below it. I will delete that because we don't want that. Again, this probably will make more sense when you see how the site itself is set up. What I've basically shown you there is how to create a main menu with a sub menu for a collection below it. So I'm going to just delete that. And if it was just a straight link to a menu, so for example, if this was fence panels, we'll just put a test so we know it's not the right menu. You hit a link to a collection, and that is going to just display all of the fence panels in the menu. And again, you would add that, and that would then drop a whole new button, which would only link people to fence panels as a main button. So I realise that submenus and menus can be a little complex, but I just wanted to show you how to do that and how it works. And if you keep looking at what I've done here, it should make a little bit more sense. But yeah, I hope that at least gives you a little bit of a guide how to do products and add them and change stock levels and change prices and tax and all bits and pieces with that. Categories and how to make categories as you add different products. Obviously set the category up first. So if you started the next section and it was, for example, garden furniture, first thing before you start adding products would be to create a category called garden furniture. Then you would start adding products. And then obviously as you add the products, you select the garden furniture category to make sure they go into that. And then finally, we've just covered a menu, how to make a main menu button, and also how to make a drop-down menu button. So I hope that helps, gets you up and running, gets you started. And if you do need anything else or anything's not clear, then just please let me know. Thanks for watching.